All these textures. Okay. Try to compare Ross and Motherwell. One last back and one.
Yeah, no regret.
Good morning, Scrappy Shack friends, and welcome to our live today. We are without Melanie, who's out in, where is it that she goes?
North Dakota.
North Dakota with her family, and posting pictures on Facebook. So if you're following her, you can see what she's up to while she's on vacation, and Princess Emma's on vacation. So it's just April, Daisy, and I running the show, and we might break some rules. So pay attention, people. Oopsie. All right, first of all, today I want to remind you about Harvest Fling, which is this coming week on, and we are backwards again. But that's okay. That's okay. We don't need to fix it.
Okay.
Because the last time we fixed it, we broke it worse.
Okay.
That's okay. You can't read it, but trust me. Harvest Fling is this coming Saturday and Sunday, all day crafting classes, $199, only 2 seats left, ladies and gentlemen. And there have been people calling the store recently just going, I just need a break from reality. I just need to get away for a couple days. So if that's you, this is a great opportunity. Sign up this week. I do want to let you know, those of you who are coming, that there is no Friday night reception this time. I think there's 2 sets of information out there, one that includes the Friday night information and one that doesn't, but we are not having that Friday night reception this time. Saturday, your breakfast and lunch is provided, but dinner is on your own. We are going as a group to a restaurant down the street. It's about 2 miles down the road. It's called the Dugout. Some of you have RSVP'd for that. Others of you have not. You're not paying for it when you RSVP. You'll pay at the restaurant, just depending on what you order. But we do need that RSVP to let folks know how many of us are coming so they know how many spots to hold for us. So please take care of that if that is you. In October, we have some classes coming up. We've got 2 pottery classes that are going to be taught by Allison Weber. The first is Thursday, October 2nd at 6 p.m. It is a ceramic pumpkin trio. So you're going to make 3 little decorative ceramic pumpkins that you can use at your house at Halloween time and Thanksgiving time. They are pumpkins, not jack-o'-lanterns, so you can use them for both. But that class starts at 6 p.m. on Thursday, October 2nd. That's $70, and there are 6 seats left. All right. Then on Thursday, October 23rd at 6 p.m., there is a butter dish making class. So if you need to make a butter dish, and my granddaughter just pointed out this week that mine is cracked, sadness and despair, you can get in on that. That's at 6 p.m., $60. There are only 2 seats left for that though. So grab those quick if you are interested. Those are classes with Allison Weber. Always very popular, always selling out quickly. All right, our code for you today, and I was going to be really clever and write this down where you could see it. I guess April will have to type it into the computer for us. But this is going to show up backwards for you guys. Yeah, but it's, you can just hold a mirror up to this. It'll be fine. It's cats away. 21. We're giving you an extra 1% today since the boss is gone and is not here to stop us. All right. All capital letters, no apostrophe, no punctuation, just cats away 21. There you have it, upside down and backwards. Okay, so somehow read it. I don't know. Maybe we'll just do that through the backside. Who knows? Anyway,
Here, I can write it back.
Oh, geez, no. All right. So, new product showcase. What do we have up first? April, Daisy.
Let's start with these. Set 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Okay, the new oxides just came out this week. So this is set 7. It includes Kitsch Flamingo, Saltwater Taffy, Candied Apple, and Fired Brick. So your pinks and reds. Very pretty. Set 7. These are all $15.99. Individually, they are on the sale, the new product showcase, but as a bundle, that is separate. I couldn't put the bundle on there also. So that is number 7. Kit 8 is your oranges and yellows. So we've got dried marigold, ripe persimmon, wild honey, and squeeze lemonade. And then kit 9 is your greens. So you've got twisted citron, rustic wilderness, evergreen bough, and pine needles. Okay, just in time for starting your Christmas projects. And, if you live around here, all your woodsy projects. Kit 10 is your blues. We've got speckled egg, always a super popular color, tumbled glass, mermaid lagoon, and faded jeans. And who doesn't like the jeans when they're nice and faded and warm and comfortable? All right, kit 11 is kind of a little bit of a, well, it's got blue sketch, and then the rest of it's kind of grungy colors. Victorian velvet's kind of a light dusty mauvey purplish, dusty concord, old paper. So other than blueprint sketch, I would say maybe this is a bit of a grunge mix. And then here are some of your neutrals in kit 12. We've got frayed burlap, gathered twigs, ground espresso, and hickory smoke. So grab those oxides. We've all been talking about different uses for them. There's lots of little videos online that show you things that you can do with small cube inks that you can't really do with larger ones. And then April talks about just transport when you're going up and downstairs from one craft space, or from your craft storage to your craft space, or when you're going to a friend's house to craft.
Let's see if that works.
We're gonna see if this.
No.
She tried. Well, you got the away part.
Yeah.
So
Away works.
Cat's away 21. All right, we have failed to write this down backwards properly. Anyway, we do try. All right, we have these adorable little texture paste packages that came in this week. So if you have ever wanted to try some different texture paste, but you didn't want to spend the money on the big jar, you can try 3 different kinds here for $10.99. And we do have them in the new product showcase. So they're 21% off. And the bottles you get here are opaque matte. So that will dry white unless you put some color in it first. And then you can spray on top of it and change all the colors. Then there's transparent matte. So both of those first 2 dry the matte. They're not very super shiny, but this one is see-through. So for some reason, if you just wanted some texture, but you didn't want the color, you can use that. And then the final one at the bottom is one of my favorites, transparent gloss. So it's clear and it's, shall we say it all together, people? Okay, so it's clear and it's shiny, and you can put mica powders in it. You can put your Diane Reilly diamond dust in there. You can put your indigo blue luscious powders in there. What else do we have that works for stuff like that?
Snowflake.
Oh,
The tin snowflake with the mica and the glitter.
okay. April says you can mix some of those little mica snowflakes in there and make it extra super shiny. So this is a fun one. I actually just came across a scrap of paper I have at home where I tried this and I put a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red and put it through a honeycomb stencil, and it's just so shiny. I don't know if any of you are fans of what is the movie, the Disney movie that has Gru in it?
Oh,
the supervillain one with the little minions.
Yeah.
I think it's just called Minions, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Minions.
That's not Disney.
So you've got it's not, okay, never mind. It's cartoon, it's Minions. If you've ever seen it, there's the one girl who really likes the stuffed animals, and somebody towards the end gives her this big fluffy unicorn, and she's like, it's so fluffy I could die. So that's me. It's so shiny I could die. All right, we have some 6x6 paper from Paper Rose that just came in this week. This one is called Mountain Trek, and it's great for those of us who live here in the mountains. And I am going to show you all the different colors and kinds. Do I just have one of each in here, or did you give me the whole pack?
That's the whole pack. Here's where you can flip them front and back and check.
Is there one of each here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So there are three, I think, yes, three of each design here. So April has pulled one out of each for me. So there's this one that you can cut up to use as ephemera. You've got these great trees and binoculars. This actually says over the mountains and through the woods. Of course, it's backwards for you, but you've got these boots that say let's travel. You've got wolves, vans, all kinds of great things. Then on the back, it's all these, it's tiny little birds flying away. So that's great. Then here you've got this page that the top most part is map. And then you've got these flowers at the bottom. And back here, it's just wolves and mountains and wolves and trees and mountains. And it's great stuff. All right, here's another small set. This is all sentiments for the most part, or the focus is sentiments anyway. There are some pictures. And then on the back of this, you've got like an old cut tree stump. Like this tree's been cut down for a long time and you come upon it and it's gone gray and all that. Very cool woodsy look. And then this one says explore, discover, out in the wild, into the forest, see the beauty, take a hike. And it's, again, wolves, mountains, trees, all kinds of pretty things. And then the back, oh, look at that.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Just a pretty, pretty mountain. And then just this little bit of color in the corner, you know, and you could kind of leave it as is, or you could put a focal point right there. It's good stuff. Oh, this one I love. It's got the boot tracks. Somebody walking through the dirt there. And oh, this one, not only do you keep your wolves, but here you've got hedgehogs, owls, bluebirds, badgers, bears, bunny rabbits, all kinds of things.
Oh, my.
So yeah, exactly. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. And oh, the back side of that was the footprints. Okay. And then here you get a nice little log cabin up against that snowy mountain. Very pretty. And some nice, I'm trying to get the glare off. These are glossy pages. So anyway, there they are. That is Mountain Trek. Okay, so also in the showcase. And then this one is called Blueprints. Okay, also 6x6 by Paper Rose. So this has all these 18 bajillion light bulbs on the front. And then the back of this one is some kind of schematics and of I don't know what. Blueprint. And then here, yeah, it's a blueprint. Here you've got this woven kind of matte look. It doesn't have this, it's a little bit lighter here, but it's not the white that's showing on the screen. It's a lighter yellow. I think you can see it better right there. We are having some, it is hard to show glossy projects on the camera. All right, so then here you have all kinds of clocks and valves, and I've got it upside down. Not that you can read it any better now, but there we are. And then this is like a dictionary page, words, words, words everywhere. And the back side, you've got more blueprints. Here's some yellowy blueprints and just an entire network of valves and pipes. And so, hey, if you got that Tim Holtz die cutting set earlier in the year, this one can give you some ideas of how to put that together, right? You can just keep going, just cut a whole bunch of pieces. All right, more blueprints and schematics here with a dash of color. And then you've got this like almost basket weave look here on the back, like you had the yellow before, but now it's smaller and black and white. And then here's just a nice grungy, good old-fashioned grungy background and some gray and white chevron. Okay, so that is the blueprint pack. And then our final pack is the Urban Garden. And I know Melanie's so sad she's not here to show you these herself. She loves showing paper. All right, so not making fun of you, boss. Yes, I am. All right. So this one's interesting because you've got these black and white flowers, but then you've got these colored flowers as well. And I just think the combination is kind of cool. And then on the back side, you have the same thing, but a little more watercolory vibe, a little bit lighter. Here you've got this just really pretty splodge of red, pink, I don't know, it looks like maybe somebody just dripped the flower juices out onto some paper. And then here you've got some black and white. And I am almost wondering, because this is so glossy, I'm wondering if you could just put alcohol ink on this.
We might have to do a lab.
Oh, we're going to do a lab. We're not going to do a lab on camera, though. I don't
No.
think we have time for a camera lab right now. And then we've got these flowers, nice big bold. And you've got just some kind of scripted words. It's not exactly cursive, but almost maybe, if you wanted that as a background. And here's some small sentiments for the front or inside of a card, or just to use as ephemera in a tuck pocket. And then you've got some tiny little black and white flowers back here. It looks like roses, among other things. Again, nice big bold blooms here, and some black and white on the back. And this it's almost like ground sky and scenery, but with red, like some crazy desert thing. And then you've got this black and white, big, bold blooms here. So very good, very good. All right, we have got some tools in this week. All of these are in the showcase. So they're 21% off if you are a charcoal pencil person. And we do have customers all the time who come in the store asking for charcoal pencils. This is the Generals brand, which seems to be very popular. It is $6.39. You get the 3 charcoal pencils and the white. Okay, it says it's a white charcoal pencil. And then you've got the kneaded eraser. These erasers are very popular.
Oh,
and
yes.
they must be hard to come by, because we had a lady the other day who ordered one from California. Like the eraser by itself is what, 88 cents, 88 cents or something like that. And then I think she paid like $7 in shipping or something for us to ship that to her. And then we had another lady yesterday who ordered six of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know. Very popular eraser. So if that interests you, there it is. And some of you have asked for T-squares, so you can line things better up with your cards. So these are $4.42. Okay, I can't make T-squares exciting. Here it is. It's a nice shade of clear. You'll be able to see your things through it. So when you're doing stuff, you can see and tell what you're doing. Yay!
Yay! Good job, you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't make anything up about that one on the spur of the moment. All right, and then we had a customer who wanted us to order these for her, and so we ordered some extra in case any of you needed it. This is just hemp rope. This is 48 pound. This looks to me more like the kind you normally would use with jewelry and beading and things like that. This is something way thicker, but I have to say, because it's like an 80-pound one, and I have to say, that looks like it might be fun on the ends of tags.
Yes,
then. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, if you need hemp, oops, I guess I should tell you how much it is. The lighter weight one is $5.99. Actually, they're both $5.99. So whether you want the 48-pound that looks more jewelry sized, or this 80-pound fun pack one that is more, it says fun pack, I promise. Fun pack. Can't see that, sorry. But if we fix it, we'll break things worse. So alas. All right, we were able to get some extra crafty advent calendars in after the fact. So if you wanted one of those and you didn't get it, they are $54.99. We are not allowed to discount those, so they are not on the new product showcase. Okay, but I will say that this is well worth your money, because you're getting 24 days worth of things for $54.99. So it's about $2 a day. And some of the things are nice die sets. And because the dies are individual pieces, you know, it might, even though it's coming in a little envelope this big inside your advent card, it, you know, it might make an entire card front. So when I got mine last year and opened it up and went through it, I definitely thought it was worth it for the value. And I will remind you of this. It is called Crafty Advent Calendar because what you're supposed to do is open one a day, the 24 days leading up to Christmas, and you get all your surprises. Of course, you can do this any way you want. I ripped my box and shredded it so I could use it
so
all
much
season.
fun.
And so I could use it all season. But remember that this one is not got Christmas designs. So you're not opening up a Santa Claus and a snowman and an angel and a stocking and a Christmas tree. This is, I don't know what this one has.
It
okay.
looks like a horseshoe.
Here's our little hints. Yeah, that one does look like a horseshoe. Okay. And this one looks like a little goldfish ball.
And then peanut butter and jelly.
Oh,
that's
okay.
cute.
I'm glad you said it. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Mhm.
So peanut butter and jelly, and then there's some kind of tiny embossing folder. There's some kind of stamps. So this comes, one day might have a stamp set, another day might have a die set, and then there's an embossing folder or two in there, and then embellishments, yes, little the sequins.
Yes,
and it's the spellbinders ones, so it's the ones that don't have holes in them. They're the flat ones, so you can glue them and you don't have to worry about the glue seeping through that center hole. So you've got 15 days. I don't even know where. I think I just looked up and saw the number 15 here. Okay, it does say 15. It's just backwards for you. Sorry. You've got 24 days of fun here, or if you're like April and me, you've got one day of fun as you shred the packaging. Yeah, and we have 4 of these left. I do think we can get more. Here's another thing I have recently discovered. Actually, April discovered yesterday that we can get the Stitchmas as well. We do not have any of those in stock. I do absolutely have to order one for a customer, so I'm going to be ordering them anyway. So if you want one and you want to shoot me a message, today would be a great day to shoot me a message. Email me, text me, call the store. I have this year's Stitchmas, and I, of course, shredded the box in the process of opening it and ripping all the things out. I love it. I think I like this year's Stitchmas better than year 1 and year 2 that they did. This is their 3rd year.
Melanie keeps calling us rule breakers.
We only did the one rule.
What one? Cats away, the mice will play.
Yeah, we went over 20%. We're giving it 21%. We just broke the one. Hey, Melanie, I want you to know we talked about starting this at 9 o'clock on the dot today instead of your classic little 9:03 thing that you like. We were really gonna rebel, but then we backed off. All right, so
a little bit.
All right, listen, Halloween is 25% off this week, but the sale ends today. You've got to get it in by midnight. All right, but we wanted to remind you that some of these Halloween things exist, and we wanted to show you some of the projects that we've been working on this week. So a reminder that there is this Halloween house mouse, and y'all, they're coming out of the candy dish, jumping on this guy's tummy, bouncing off, probably running back around the other side, getting back in the candy dish. I mean, these folks there's little half-eaten jelly beans all over the place, this little candy corn with a nibble out of it. These guys are high on the sugar, and they are having a good time. And so here's a little card I made with that. I've got this crazy candy corn grungy background. And you really can't see it. There's so much spritz and shimmer on this thing. Oh,
yeah, that's bad. But
all right,
people, it's really there.
Field trip, you're gonna have to come to the store so you can see my shiny. Okay. So we have some pink and Maine that's fairly new to us. Okay. And we've got this on the 21% off. So this is a nice little set. The stamps are $15.99. Okay. Plus you get your 21% off today or tomorrow if you use your Cats Away 21. It's got a nice combination of small stamped leaves and sentiments. It says, hello there, autumn greetings, happy fall, congratulations, happy anniversary. There's a little acorn, there's little berries, a little set of acorns. So you've got a nice variety of things. And then here are the dies that go with them. Those are $17.99. And as best I can tell, I think it cuts out everything. Yes, yes, it looks to me like it cuts out everything. So that's a good one. Back in the spring, we had a Lisa Horton burlap embossing folder, and we sold out of them 2 or 3 times. But Pink and Main for $7.99 has a 6x6 one, and we've got a couple of these left. So if you didn't get that Lisa Horton embossing folder back in the spring, here's another chance at the burlap. It's nice and big. So should be great. It does make a great background. And then we've got this particular. Okay, so these are things we got from Libby Hickson from our Pink and Main trunk show that we kept in the store. So this is holly background foilable sheets. So you can use this with your Pink and Main foil machine. And here it is at the top, just in the black and white as it comes in the packaging. And then here it is after it's been foiled with the green. And probably my guess is that somebody went in with a marker and colored the red part. So anyway, that's a great sheet. And of course, this comes with 8 pages, and I believe you cut them in half. So I think you get 16 foilables.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Oh, you got those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here. This is your domain.
My domain.
Yeah.
Where?
Hang on. We're switching people. I'll look. You talk about the product, I'll find the stuff.
Okay. So we finally got in the Simple Stories Say Cheese Mouse Stamp Collection. Aren't they so cute? I love that guy. The little stamp. So that is $14.99, but there is a die set that will cut out all of your pieces, and that one is $19.99. But for those Mickey lovers like myself, it's fantastic. And then here is a card that I made using, can I have the music notes? This is my background on this arch piece that I used the Eileen Pole die on to cut it out. And then I used this wreath to put Minnie's head in. And I used the Minnie that came as the whole set of Mickey and Minnie cuts, but you could absolutely use this one and it fits perfectly. So fun times. Oh, and then I used some luster wax on there to make it shiny for Barbie.
I like my
and all of these are in the new product showcase.
I think we put them all
I think they're all in the product showcase.
And we had run out of the music embossing folders last week, but we have some back in stock today.
Yes. Oh, where is our baseboards? All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. And then the next fun project that I did was this awesome tag. I used black texture paste, Tim's texture paste. I spritzed it with purple and orange spritz. Then I used the backboards, or baseboards, sorry, from here and the words hurt. So you have different usages for the baseboards. I'm really struggling with my words here.
You suggested the word.
But then I cut out the witch and her kitty cat, and I made it look like the witch was in her house cleaning. But this is just a little snippet from a magazine to make it look like there was a picture on the wall. And 25% off.
Mm-hmm. And remember, the Halloween 25% ends today.
Yes.
Your 21% is today and tomorrow if you use the code. Don't forget to use the code.
Yeah.
Some of you people are just
and
silly.
The code is CatsAway21. All right. This next project, I used this year's paper dolls for Halloween. And I used this year's baseboards from the Halloween collection and ended up with this. Can you see the creepy little girl? Can you see her back there? She's scary. Then I also used the black texture paste again through a stencil for my leaves. And then I also cut out these 2 pumpkins, which we still have quite a few of. But I thought it was pretty cute. Barbie suggested I put a knife in her hand, but that was just too much work. I didn't feel like it. And I think it's back to Barbie.
Because the knife would be carving the pumpkin.
Yes.
I didn't necessarily want her killing anybody, just carving the pumpkin.
Carve into pumpkin.
All right. So while we're talking about the baseboards and the dolls, I'm going to show you my little 3D box I made this week. It looks kind of strange straight on, but when you look at it kind of into it, it's a little bit better. So my moon back there, I just put a little piece of a cotton ball, not even a whole cotton ball, a little piece of cotton ball underneath it to puff it up a bit. And so the tree doesn't quite lay flat because it's coming across the moon, and that gives it a little bit more texture. And then the first tombstone way in the back is actually glued against the wall. And then this one is popped up once, and this one is popped up 2 or 3 times because I was trying to give it that dimension. And then here's one of your creepy dolls. So my story here is this says a strange thing happened. It really does. And it's from the baseboards because there's little sentiments in there. So my story here is that these trick-or-treaters have actually accidentally, temporarily, don't worry about them, temporarily crossed over into the other side. But we're so used to on television and movies, like when you go into the other world, you know, all of them are in black and white, and because they're just shades and they don't have any color anymore. And the people who are really alive actually have the color. But I reversed it here. Here it's the dead that have the color because this is the land of the dead, and the trick-or-treaters who are still alive don't have the color. I am making stuff up. All right. So anyway, this of course,
crazy little brain we love.
It is. It's from reading too much Edgar Allan Poe when I was an English teacher. Sorry. Not sorry. All right. So this, of course, is from this die, and I just cut it out in a real sturdy black cardstock 3 times and glued them on top of each other to give it the texture. And then the tombstones, of course, come from this die, and the little gate comes from this die. So that is that. And then I got one more here.
Oh.
So then I have April's hats from last week. Just to remind you, one, that this is 25% off. Okay, so you can see the original picture here. You can see the way April Daisy did him here. And then for whatever reason, when I was taking my shower this morning, the hot water thawed out my brain and my 2 cells found each other and had an idea. Y'all, if you're a Harry Potter fan, it could be the Sorting Hat. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it could. And I just wanted to throw that idea out there since I had it. All right.
All right. I think it does.
Okay. So we're going to have a Fergus review real quick. Now, Fergus, if you buy, I will in a minute. If you're buying individual pieces, we do have him in the showcase. Don't tell the boss. But the bundle, of course, we can't put in the showcase. And Melanie went through these with you last week. So I'm not going to go through them again. But here's what we want to review. Here is the Fergus that Princess April made that we love. And I can't wait to go and do my own with felt. But we like to challenge each other at the store.
Ooh, yeah,
so since April made hers the proper way out of felt, I had to go home and be contrary and try to make one out of paper. Okay, because some of you ignored Fergus because Fergus is 3D and requires sewing, and you don't like to sew and you don't want 3D things. You only want flat things that you can put in a scrapbook or on top of a card. And so I give to you paper Fergus. Okay, this is paper Fergus. He is completely shiny. Again, people, you're just gonna have to schedule a field trip. Like, you can see some of the shiny here,
but it's not
you're not getting the full effect. All right, so what I'm gonna do here real quick, because we've got 20 minutes left, is I'm gonna do, so for Fergus, Felt Fergus, Spellbinders has videos. The creator of Fergus Sandy McIver has made lots of videos, so you can just go in and watch the bits that you want. There's one about sewing the body. There's one about sewing the hat. There's one about sewing the coat. And, you know, she's got it all broken down. But there's no video that shows you how to flatten Fergus into paper. So I'm going to briefly show you how to flatten Fergus into paper. So for those of you who might want to do something like that. And all of these bits are from the original set. So, and of course, remember his accessories will let you do all the different seasons. You can do winter, Christmas, autumn and fall, and not autumn and fall. Those are the same thing.
Those are
autumn and
spring.
Halloween. You could do spring just by changing the flower colors and things. But I'm going to guess that there'll be Fergus. I'm guessing, no knowledge. I have not seen a sneak peek of anything. This is goblin guessing. I'm going to guess that there'll be a spring and summer Fergus this year.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That would make
sense. I'm feeling like the February release or something needs to be this.
Then it could be a balance.
Not, and you're from Spellbinders. Why the heck haven't you planned that yet? And you should turn this off and go get on that job. Okay, thank you. So I'm sorry. I'm a very task-oriented person. For those of you who are religious, I am all Martha, and there is no Mary in me. All Martha. Okay. So here's my bits and pieces. So here you can see I've used this spider web. Thank you. Here on the sides of the coat. And then I got one more and I cut it up into bits to put between the layers here. Okay. And then thank you. On the big one, on Fergus itself, there is this piece that you can use as a band around the hat. And you can see where April sewed that around the hat and she's sewn it around the sleeves. Well, I had a big piece, and so I was just having fun with it. I cut it up and I just layered it and made it stripy on the hat. So it really only took one of these and just boom, 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 and did it that way. Anyway, so here are my bits and pieces. Let me start with the back. Okay, this is the back of the cloak. All right, and I've got two-sided paper, so I'm actually going to turn it the other way. When I started with paper, I started with the back, and that is this piece. And even when you're doing felt, you only cut out one of these. Okay, so you cut out one of these. For paper purposes, I'm putting that down first. All right, then when you do the felt body, you cut out two of these. There's a front and a back, and then you cut out this piece, which makes it stand up at the bottom. So you can see, I'm gonna strip Fergus. So April's got her front, she's got her back, then she's got this piece to help it stand up. When you're doing paper, you don't need all of that. You just need the one piece. All right, so I'll just go ahead and glue it. You know what? We'll just glue it. Oh, April's handing me my glasses. She's like, you better look and see what you're doing. Good idea. Good idea. She knows me so well. She knows me so well. All right.
Finish each other's sandwiches.
Yes, we finish each other's sandwiches. That's another. Oh, that one is that one is Disney. That one is Disney. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. I get stuck on a name and it's the name. Like every copy machine is a Xerox. Every nose tissue is a Kleenex.
Oh, man.
And you know, there's some brands that just stick. And so all animated movies are Disney. I will try to be better, but I'm just a mess. It's okay. So anyway, so you only need one of those. All right, then for the front of the jacket, you cut out, okay, I need to set these way out of my way just so I don't keep picking up the same ones. Okay. For the front of the jacket, you cut out two of these. And one of the cool things is these have little tabs right there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it tells you how many times to cut out each piece. So it tells you to cut this one out 2 times. Now, on felt, you don't have to worry about it because felt is usually the same color on the front and the back. You just cut out 2, no big deal. On paper, if you want them, if you're using double-sided paper, you need to cut out one on each side. So then I've got these. I'm going to line up real quick. And I am going to line up the dots. And y'all, I've diamond dotted these, as you can clearly see. I put a diamond dot over every little empty hole. You don't have to do that. There are other options. You can leave them blank. You can leave them empty. You can take like a gold gel pen or whatever color gel pen you want, really, and draw lines from hole to hole. Take a ruler and just draw a line from going through all the holes, and it will look like little stitches going down there. Oh, I don't want to do it though, because I'm going to go back and do it in gold later, and I didn't bring my gold pen. Thank you, though. You can, if you have sequins at home, depending on the size of your sequins, you might have to do every other hole instead of every hole. But also, if you're gluing this down on a card or on a scrapbook page, especially if you use a metallic piece of paper underneath it, or a glitter piece of paper underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that shines through. I've done that with so many of my stitchable ornaments. It shines through and it's glorious. All right, so I've got that. All right, what else do I need to do here? Oh, you know what I do need? Oh, I've got it. So with the nose, so this is flat. You could put it in a scrapbook. You could put it in a card, but I did give it some dimension. I didn't want it to be completely stupid flat. So, okay, April's showing you here. You can see the
sort of kind
if it's flat. If it's glued on and it's flat, and you're looking at it in real life and not on the camera, you can see the shining through the holes. Alas,
just not on the camera.
Yeah. So listen, with this, I wanted the nose to still have some depth and texture. So I could just cut a smaller circle, you know, get one of my little circle dies and just cut a smaller circle out of here. But what I did is I just played this little game where you put the little slices in your paper going all the way around, and then you fold them under and glue them. So I'm going to put a circle of glue around here. All right, y'all, I hope you're paying attention because this is the world's only tutorial about how to do Ferguson paper.
So she thinks.
That we know of. All right, so I'm just folding these down onto the glue, and because they're all cut and sliced, it's going to allow me to kind of keep that circle shape. It's not a perfect circle, but neither is the stitched one. You know, it's not what it's meant for. It's meant to get, you know, a vaguely circular shape. All right. And then I cut out my two beards in white. So I'm going to glue one beard on top of the other. Nose on. And if I wanted this to be even puffier, like if I was doing on a card for a little kid or something, I could put a little piece of cotton back here, or you know, whatever. How far down there?
Or a piece of tissue, which is what I used in mine.
Okay. All right.
So what was closest?
There's that. And that on. All right. For sleeves. I basically just folded them into thirds, and I realize now I've glued my thing shut. I've glued the sides of my clothes shut without sticking my arms in. So I'm going to have to glue my arms a little bit onto the back, but that's okay. I just kind of folded these guys into thirds and stuck them on. I'm going to
show them the die that you used to do that
part. Yeah, the die for the sleeves, thank you, is this one. And obviously you cut two. I'm going to put my texture paste on that for a second. Fold this other one up. How are we doing on time?
9:47.
All right. I think we got enough time to finish the basics. All right. So anyway, did I even glue that on camera?
I don't know.
Just put it off camera.
It's okay.
Way down there. Way down there.
I mean, they see for it.
All right. I'm getting this other arm back here. All right, and then here's my hat. It's the same paper, but I'm using the reverse side. And basically, how did I do that? I folded it basically in thirds. Am I even on camera?
Yes, you are.
Okay. A lot of times when I pull things close to me, I end up pulling it off camera. So folded it basically in thirds, tried to get that point in the whole 9 yards. Tried not to let any of the holes show here, although it's really not a big deal. And I just glued this guy shut. Again, I could give this some texture by putting a little cotton in it or tissue or whatever. And I'm going to put that down over his head. All right, then we've got to get now. Okay, you do have choices. So you do have choices here. Okay, this is sort of a traditional Merlin looking hat. You could leave it like this and not put the brim on. Like if you really wanted your card to be flatter, or you were going to put it in a scrapbook and you were trying not to add bulk, you don't have to put that brim on. You could see this looks just kind of like a Merlin. But if you want to put it on, here is how I did it. This is the hat die. You just cut it. Well, for the felt, you cut it twice because you double layer it just to give it some more sturdiness.
Show me the die that you used to cut the hat part.
Yes, this is the hat die. So you just do one of those, right? Okay, one of these either way, for the felt or for the paper. So what I did on this one, guys, is I cut most of it off, right? And then if I could have that scoreboard now.
Yes, ma'am. Maybe I could pick it up.
Thanks. And then I just scored it, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch. And I folded this part under. And this is the part that's going to glue, but you have to do a little repair first. I'm actually going to cut off a wee bit more because I don't want these dots showing on the front. And I'm going to score it a little deeper. So, all right, I'm scoring it, so I'm folding it so that the dots don't show. Once I fold it, though, give this back to you, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Kyla.
You're welcome.
Once you fold it, you'll see that there's these little edges poking out. Okay, so I am going to take my scissors and trim that bit off. So it's not sticking out from under the hat. Weird. Nothing scientific about this, just getting rid of the visible edges. And then I can glue that down right there. I also could not, if I wanted it just to stay flat and to never pop up, I could just cut this shape and glue it flat on there. That is also an option. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did the hands. And we're done with Fall Fergus. Although I have to say, probably later I'll go back and add some of this on. Like I might put a little brim here, and I'm thinking about only gluing it on the bottom and like tucking in a couple of leaves because we've got these cute little leaves right there. So I think I may just glue this bottom bit right here and tuck in a couple leaves there at the top. And then I have another piece that I cut out on the other side that I'll probably put right here just to add a little bit more of that color. And again, that's this die. So the hands and the nose, guys, are all the same die. And she's got a video that shows you how to like sew the hands. It's just this round die. It tells you to cut it out 3 times. Okay, 1 for the nose and 2 for the hands. So and there's a couple little stitches that you put in to make fingers. I'm not worrying about the fingers.
Oh, I totally didn't do any fingers.
I have a problem where when I try to add too many fine details, I just make things worse. You know what they say, there's that point where you should quit and stop. And if you go a step farther, then you don't like your project anymore. I'm learning. All right. So for me to do the hands, I have folded the circle in half. And then that half I'm folding into thirds. And well, maybe not. I'm trying to fold into thirds.
You can do it.
It's either going too far or not far enough. Okay, there we go. So it makes this little shape that's kind of like a mitten with no thumbs. And if I just stick a little glue on it, I can fit it up inside the sleeve. Yes, I can fit it. Maybe I can fit it up inside the sleeve. Okay, I fit it up inside the sleeve, and there we go. So the other one, I'm folding it, the circle in half, and this gives it, again, a little more texture. You know, you could just cut that little shape if you wanted it to be very, very, very flat, but I wanted them to have a little oomph. I mean, it is meant to be 3D, and I really only did the paper to be contrary, because that's how I roll.
Well, I'm going to try it in foam.
Oh, yeah. April wants to try it in foam, which I think is fantastic, too. I did the Nicole Spore ones that came out last year. Okay, this is a little too wide. The Nicole Spore ones that came out last year. What was it? It was an owl and a fox and a little acorn.
And there was something else.
Was there a pumpkin?
Owl. Oh, yes, there was a pumpkin.
Owl, fox, pumpkin, and
the acorn.
The acorn. Anyway, I did them every way I could think. I did them in felt. I did them in foam. I did them in paper. I did them in fabric. All right. So this is it for this Fergus. Obviously, I'm going to finish him and embellish him a little bit more and stuff like that. But just by using a nice paper, I've gotten a pretty cool Fergus this morning. So there he is, fall Fergus. And we are getting our warning sign to stop this and open the store. And so one last reminder, your coupon code is
Cats Away 21.
Cats Away 21. Oh, let's put our real Fergus back here too. Cats Away 21. And well, he's sleeping. He's got his hat over his face. Cats Away 21. 2 seats left for Harvest Fling next weekend. And just a few seats left for the pumpkin trio on October 2nd. So go ahead and get signed up for those quick. And if you want the butter dish, there's only 2 seats left for that. And I'm thinking about taking one. So race me to it. Anyway, any questions? Anything else we need to answer for the crew?
Nope. Have a great weekend and come visit us.
Yes, come see the shining.